Welcome to Amy Bazal Wellness page. I am so excited to practice with you today. Be sure to always listen to your body. If something doesn't feel good, make sure that you back off. If it feels good, keep going. These classes are a shortened version of classes that I offer virtually and on an app. If you want to access full classes, be sure to head to amybazalwellness.com to find out how, and subscribe and like my page so that we can continue to practice through pregnancy and into postpartum. Hello, I'm so excited to have you here for your birth prep yoga class today. We're going to do some breathing exercises. We're going to practice some poses that you might end up being in or using in labor and birth. And we're going to take this time to just really stretch and relax our bodies as well. So for this class, you're probably going to want a nice large pillow from your bed and some yoga blocks if you have them. We're going to start in a seated position. I recommend you sit on top of that pillow and lift those hips up so your hips can come in line with your spine and it can be a little more comfortable for you. During class today, I want you to think that each wave brings me closer to baby. That can be your mantra or your intention for class today. So each wave brings me closer to baby, and I inhale strength and exhale fear. Whatever fear you might have holding on to you right now in this moment, fear that you have for labor, for birth, for motherhood, I just want you to let that go in class today. I know that you have the strength, you have the power, you have the ability to handle all of it. So come to your comfortable seated position, and we're going to begin with a calming breath. This is really good for the early stages of labor as things are starting to build slowly. So go ahead and close your eyes or soften your gaze by looking down at the floor in front of you. So this breath provides a continuous supply of oxygen to the uterus and baby, which is going to be really essential to allowing the muscles to contract properly, to allow the uterus to work properly, and to preserve your energy throughout labor. So rest your tongue behind the front upper teeth of your mouth and relax your jaw. Place the hands on the belly just above your belly button and below your ribs, and scan your body for any tension that you're holding on to. I want you to take an inhale into the belly for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. And then exhale for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Continue doing that. And with each exhale, really relax and let go of any tension that you might be holding on to. One more breath in and out. Each wave brings me closer to baby. I inhale fear. I inhale strength. And exhale fear. And gently allow your palms to rest into your lap. Flutter your eyes open. And then begin to reach your head from side to side, looking over one shoulder and then the next. Going at your own pace. And then allow your torso to go along with the rotation, just a gentle little twist. Keeping that mobility up in your spine during pregnancy is really important. And we're getting our spine all warmed up for movement today. And come back to center. taking the palms on top of the thighs. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your gaze, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, round. Marrying your breath with your movement. Now on the next time, we're going to bring our arms into it. So open the chest. Exhale, take your back of your wrist to touch in front of you. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Go ahead and come to a neutral spine and come to your hands and your knees. You can move your pillow off to the side for now. We're going to take our knees a little bit wider and then our palms a little closer together. On your inhale, take your arm to the ceiling, your right arm to the ceiling, take your gaze with it. And on your exhale, we're going to thread our right arm underneath right ear and right shoulder or come down onto the mat. If you need to, you can place a pillow or a block under your head. Your left hand can stay here. Otherwise, you can extend it to the top of your mat, whatever feels best for you. So the dilation of the cervix and opening of the uterus is considered that first stage of labor. And in this time, we want to take it moment by moment. We have to honor if we need to rest or if we're looking to progress things along, maybe be a little bit more mobile, but allowing those times and moments of rest. On your next inhale, press yourself up, wiggle or roll, however you need to. These moments in class are also to find out what your body likes to do, how it likes to move, and how it feels good in these poses and these movements. Inhale, left hand to the ceiling. Exhale, thread it through. And if your right hand maybe wants to extend to the top of the mat this time, just again, honor what it needs in this moment. Know that you have two sides of your body, so maybe one side needs something a little bit different. Right hand goes into the mat, press yourself up. This time we're going to take our palms a little bit further in front of your shoulders and then begin torso circle. So imagine that your belly button is drawing a circle on the mat, but I want you to make this big. Really drop your hips forward and then exhale, sit your hips back, release and let go through the pelvic floor. So I'm going to run through movement for birth here, and this is the beginning stages. Here is sitting on your hands and your knees, maybe adding in some movement so that we can allow the hips to open. We can wiggle that baby down further into position, putting more pressure on the cervix and allowing for dilation to go a little bit faster. And then you're going to come to center and you're going to lift up onto your knees. You can take your hands to belly. So as we get into, and now do your hip circles in one direction. As we get those first stages of labor, we want to be upright a little bit more. So we can use gravity and that movement to allow that baby to descend a little faster. And you can switch the opposite direction. So as you're going through a contraction, you might notice that the movement helps you dissipate the pain and again, allows that baby to move down. So it's multi-purposeful here. But then maybe you have a rest between your contractions. So you're going to go ahead and relax and sit back. And then you can come up again and do the opposite direction. And circles are a good movement to use, but also figure eights. So you could do a little bit of figure eight. Notice how that feels in your body. And then go ahead and take your hands down. If you have your yoga blocks, place them onto the left side of your mat. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can just take your hands to a stool or a bench or a chair, and then right foot is going to go wide out to the right edge of your mat. Now we're going to begin these hip circles. So a lunge can help open up that pelvis, allowing the baby to move down a little further too. So this might be a position that feels good for you. Maybe try one leg over the other. You might notice a little bit of a difference. Only you're going to be able to tell the difference on how one position feels for you over the other, and if it's helping that baby move down or not. Opposite direction if you haven't already. All right, find stillness and toe heel the foot to center. We're going to take our hands to either side. So if you want to go up on the high end of your blocks, otherwise you can interlace your fingers, press the palms on top of your knee, and then let your hips release down. So your hands can come to your knee or your block. I want you to inhale, lift your chest, lift your gaze, release the hips down, and then exhale, straighten that front leg, peel your foot off the mat. Toes are going to flex towards your face. Inhale, lunging forward. Exhale, sitting the hips back. 3 more times, just like that, marrying your breath with your movement. So allowing your breath to guide your pace, taking this time to connect to the breath and get used to hearing your breath. Last time, we're going to hold it back here. On your next inhale, lunge forward. If you have blocks, place them off the mat. We're going to tuck our back toe, lift the back knee off the mat. Inhale, come all the way up, and then turn to the side. So we're going to heel our feet a little closer together. Toes are out, heels are in. Take a deep inhale in, and then exhale. Let those hips come down. Sink right down like you're coming down a wall. Knees are pressing open. Maybe take your hands to your belly here. So a nice squatting position, helping that baby bear down, using the weight of the baby, the gravity to press the cervix, dilate a little quicker. And about 20 to 30 seconds is how long your contractions at the beginning stages of labor are going to last. So we are going to hold this for 10 more seconds, and let's go ahead and pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and stand up. Turn those toes parallel. Step to the top of your mat and go ahead and rock your hips from side to side. Maybe bring in that figure 8 again. So a standing position is a great position for those beginning stages. Again, using gravity. Now, can you switch that figure 8 in the opposite direction? Come back to center. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant those hands, and we're just going to step down to a kneeling position, or hands and knees, and then grab onto your blocks and place them on the right side of the mat this time. Your hands can go to your blocks or that stool, and then left foot is going to go wide. Begin your hip circles on the left side now, and just notice if you feel any difference from one side over the other. Opposite direction. Find stillness, toe heel that foot to center, and let the hands frame the front foot. Or take the hands to your knee, drop your hips down, lift your chest, lift your gaze, deep inhale in, exhale, sit your hips back, peel the feet off the mat and flex the toes towards your face. Inhale, lunge, and exhale, sit the hips back. 3 more times just like that, using your breath to guide the movement. Third time, we're going to hold it back. On your next inhale, lunge back forward. Move those blocks off the mat. We're going to take that left foot back here and then grab onto your pillow. We're going to take our knees wide, toes can touch. Allow your chest to come down onto the pillow. Head can go to either side. So this is our resting pose. This is if we're on our hands and knees or we're lunging in those beginning stages of labor, and we need to allow our bodies those moments to rest. And even in the later stages of labor, you're going to have breaks between your contractions. So coming down, having pillows or props here that can help support your body so that you can move from one pose to the next, and then just really release down and let your pelvic floor go, let your body completely relax so that you can preserve energy to last the marathon. A few more breaths here. On your next inhale, lift up. Remove your pillow off the mat. And then we're going to tuck our toes, send the hips high as our chest comes to the thighs into down dog. Now your feet can be hip distance or a little bit wider. And go ahead and pedal your feet out, pressing one heel down, bending one knee, switching back and forth, really opening into that back body. Press both heels down towards the mat. And then shift your weight into your left foot. We're going to lift our right foot off the mat. Press through your heel. Notice your strength and the power that you have within your body. Exhale, release down. Inhale, left foot comes back. Press through your heel. Exhale, release down. Let your hands slowly walk back to your feet. Keep your feet wide. Let your head release down. Let your body just hang. And maybe you want to grab onto your elbows and sway from side to side. You can bend your knee as you move into your hip. Come back to center, bend your knees, and slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. And as you get up, step to the top of the mat. If you have a wall handy, you might want to go to a wall here. This is also an option. If you're maybe walking around, you can go ahead and use that wall. Rock the hips from side to side. Maybe you want to come down a little further and rock those hips from side to side. If you don't have a wall, just come here. Or just move in a way that feels good and comfortable to you. We're going to do one more goddess squat, one more endurance pose to help your body learn how to be in that moment of uncomfortableness as you're using your entire body. Inhale, take those arms up, palms to touch. Exhale, sink straight down. Knees are pressing wide. Hips are down towards the ground. Slightly tug those heels in towards each other. Notice how that activates the inner thighs and pelvic floor. If you want, you can take your hands to belly. Maybe find some movement that feels comfortable. But what a powerful pose this is. Like it's standing in your power, just like you should be doing in birth. Just standing in your power. It's the most powerful thing, the most energetically draining thing you'll ever do in your life. And it's the most amazing thing that you'll ever do in your life. So come here. Find that movement that feels good. Use that breath. Long inhales, long exhales. Relax your jaw. Relax your shoulders. You're almost there. You can do this. Keep that breath. Our throat, neck, and jaw are directly connected to our pelvic floor. So we want to focus on keeping this nice and calm and relaxed. This is the most surrendering time in your life. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Stand up. Take those feet parallel. Deep inhale in. Exhale, forward fold. Let that head release down. Weight can go into the balls of your feet. If you need to, you can take your hands to a block. Let your head release down. Let your body recover and relax. Take a bend in your knees and slowly roll up. Grab onto a pillow or your yoga block if you have it. Or if you have 2 yoga blocks, you might want to use it that way also. So this time we're going to take our feet about hip distance, toes out, heels are in. Deep inhale in, reach those arms up, palms to touch. And then exhale, sink straight down, coming all the way down. Go ahead and rock from side to side. Really moving into this space. If you're 37 weeks or later and have a breech baby, avoid this pose right now. We don't want to push that baby down further into the birthing canal if it's not in the right birthing position. So when you're ready, go ahead and grab onto your yoga blocks or your pillows, stack them up, and then let your hips sit directly on top of it. It's okay if your heels don't touch. If you want to place a blanket or a mat underneath it, or if you up a little bit higher, that's okay. Take your elbows to the inside of your knees. Press your palms together. We are not meant to hold our breath and push the baby out. We are meant to breathe that baby out. We want to relax the pelvic floor. We want it to get out of the way, and we want to slowly push the baby out so that the perineum can move out of the way and not cause any tearing. We want to let our body do the work. Our body already knows how to push the baby out, just like it knows how to sneeze or cough. We don't need to learn how to do that. We need to let the body do the work. So we will practice a breathing for pushing in just a minute, but because this pose is such a deep squat, sometimes it can put a little too much pressure on the perineum. Something you can do is put a warm compress on there, maybe a little bit of pressure on there to help relax it and ease the stretch a little bit more. But this is also not a position that we're in too often, so practicing it now before birth so that you feel a little more comfortable in birth might be your option. So go ahead and place your palms down, lift up your hips, remove your prop off to the side. And we're going to come to our hands and our knees. This is one of the most common birthing positions that you usually find. It's really good for back labor. It could help flip that baby if the baby's maybe sunny side up. And it allows you that movement that you might need and that rest that you can get to so accessibly between the contractions. So what we will do is a 4 count in and an 8 count out, and I want you to be really pushing that breath to the back of your throat and down into your uterus and out your vagina. And that is also commonly known as a Ujjayi breath or a J breath. So that is the one that we would want to focus on in those pushing phases. So again, if we want to take our palms a little closer or in front of our shoulders, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Opposite directions. Do a couple times this way. Really relaxing and letting go through the pelvic floor as you release back and into that 8 count. Come to center. You worked really hard today, so we're going to do a couple stretches to just not only relax us, but prepare our mind and our body for birth. So go ahead and grab onto your pillow, or maybe you want to do a couple pillows and stack them up. And we're going to take our right hip to the edge of the pillow. Maybe you want to leave a little bit of room for your belly here. And then hands are going to go to either side of your pillow. Take a deep inhale in, grow a little taller, and then exhale, release down. Again, just adjusting the pillow so that you can be in a comfortable released position. The supported, nice, gentle twist for your body and your spine. If you want to move your legs a little further away too so that you're not scrunching your belly, that would be ideal. And then your head can go either direction, whichever feels best on your neck. Maybe you want to bring in that J breath again here. Inhaling for 4, pressing that breath to the back of your throat, into your uterus and down out through your pelvic floor as you exhale for 8. When you're ready, press your palms into the mat. Push yourself up to all 4s. Bring in whatever movement you need, whatever movement feels good right now in your body. And then we'll switch to the other side. Left hip will come down, hands to either side. Deep inhale in and then exhale, release down. Taking your head to whichever direction feels best. When you're ready, press your palms into the mat. Push yourself up to all 4s again. Wiggle or roll however you need to. And we're going to do one more pose that is going to stretch our inner thighs, our pelvic floor, really prepare our pelvic floor for labor and birth. So I want you to take some pillows and stack them up. Want them to get high as you can go at first, and then you can take them away if you need to. We're going to take our legs wide, and this might be your wide, maybe you're a little bit wider here. Wherever you go, just make sure your knees and your feet stay pointed towards the ceiling. Your props are going to come right in front of you here. Take a deep inhale in, grow a little taller, and then on your exhale, fold forward. Again, as you settle down into this pose, you might want to remove some of these props. Just make sure that you can really relax and let go through your pelvic floor. So notice if you're clenching or if you're holding on right now, and if you are, try to release with each exhale. Like I mentioned, our neck and throat are directly connected to our pelvic floor. So another thing or breath that could really help you in the pushing stages of birth is humming, because humming just naturally relaxes your pelvic floor. So maybe during the week, this week, you can practice these breathing exercises while you're driving to work or just eating lunch. And maybe just practice humming on your exhale so you can get used to hearing yourself hum too. When we go into a flight or fight stage in birth, it can inhibit that release of endorphins. And endorphins are 10 times more effective pain reliever than morphine is. So we want to be able to keep our body relaxed and calm. Sometimes preparing our body or mind to hear those things that we're not used to hearing, especially when we feel vulnerable around other people. So getting comfortable with that. And this pose here is so opening in your pelvic floor and in your inner thighs. It really prepares your mind and your body for birth. It is definitely the most opening time that you're going to be in your life. So doing this pose can really prepare you for that moment. We're going to just hold this for a few more breaths. Really connect to that 4 count in and that 8 count out again. Or you can do the humming now if you'd like to. On your next inhale, slowly push yourself up. Grab onto the back of your knees. Bring your legs closer together. Maybe close this off by just hugging your knees in, tucking your head down. You worked really hard today to prepare your body for birth. If you want to get in a reclining, laying down position, maybe lay on your left side with a pillow between your legs and under your head, cover yourself up. Let's just take a moment in Shavasana to just honor the body that has allowed you this pregnancy, that has gotten you to this point, and will get you through labor and birth and into motherhood or parenthood. So go ahead and get into whatever position feels best and most comfortable for you. And if that is seated, go ahead and come to a seated position. Now that J breath or Ujjayi breath is kind of like you're fogging up a glass or a mirror with your breath, but keeping your mouth closed. If you want to close your eyes, get into that comfortable position. And when you're ready, inhale for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep going. With each exhale, allow your body to relax a little bit more. Allow your mind to drift a little bit further. letting go of any tension, any fear or worry that you're holding on to right now in this moment, or about labor, about parenthood. Take one more deep inhale in. With your exhale, let it all go. Feel free to stay here as long as you would like. When you're ready, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe you want to take your arms up above your head in a good morning stretch. And just take this moment to notice how you feel. And then, making it the slowest movement of your day, come up to a seated position. Place your palms together and be grateful for showing up on your mat today. Namaste.